Hey there, it's Steve.
And Connor.
From Serious Keto, and in this video, this is going to be our first, probably of a series, we're going to be making some homemade sausage. So we've made a bunch of sausage over the last, couple of years now?
Probably last 2 years, I'd say.
What all have we made?
See, we've made hot dogs,
Yep,
bratwursts, Louisiana hot links, andouilles.
We've also done breakfast sausage.
Oh, yeah, those two.
Italian. The Asian sausage,
Yep.
which really tasted like the insides of a
meat.
dumpling.
Yep.
So that could actually be something, rather than making into a link sausage, if we can figure out a keto dumpling recipe, that would be cool. And then most recently, like a week or so ago, we did that lamb margais, which is a North African sausage.
But tastes like a gyro.
Tastes like a gyro, but spicier. It's got, a little more, some cumin and stuff in there. Good stuff. In terms of whether you should make sausage or not, part of the question, I guess, becomes why you would want to. If you're making it for cost savings and you have the equipment like a KitchenAid, then you can start achieving some cost savings pretty quickly. I think we figured out, compared to like Johnsonville brats, we're saving about 40%.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And then, these are
Way better.
Way better.
Once you have a homemade brat, you don't want to buy brats ever again.
In fact, I think those were your exact words when you ate the first one. You were like, we're never buying a brat from a store again. So let's go through a little bit of the process and some of the equipment. First off, if you have a meat grinder, yay. Alternatively, if you have a KitchenAid, you can get the meat grinder attachment for it. The next thing is, do you want to buy a dedicated sausage stuffer? There is, from KitchenAid, a feed tube attachment. I don't have that. I'm not sure how well it works. If any of you have that and have used it, please, down in the comments, let us know your experience with it, because that would be a lot cheaper than buying a dedicated sausage stuffer, which, of course, I have. And the sausage stuffer comes with like 5 different potential feed tubes. So you can do anything from like little Slim Jim beef sticks all the way up to,
an elephant sausage.
Yeah. Aside from that, a little cheap sausage poker. This is not going to be a game breaker in terms of money. And then, depending on the type of sausage you're making, a smoker. Is there anything else? Did I miss anything?
Casings.
Casings. So yeah, you're going to want to order some casings. If you're doing your larger sort of bratwursts, Italian sausages, those sort of things, you'll use hog casings. If you're doing hot dogs or breakfast sausage, sheep casings. You can also get collagen casings if you're doing beef sticks. I'm not a huge fan of those. They kind of seem to break fairly easily when we're stuffing.
Yeah,
we always have a stuffing mishap. Now, when you buy casings, they come in a package. It's vacuum sealed, packed with salt. You're going to need to rinse these things thoroughly. Like, if you've got a big Duratub like slop sink, you can get them all done at once, because there's a lot in a packet. Did you smell, like when I first opened the packet of them?
I don't think so.
You would remember. It smells a little bit funky. It might scare you the first time you smell it, but don't worry, all that rinses right off. Once I do the first rinse on the casings, then I put them back in like a Rubbermaid container with some water and some more salt. They will keep in the fridge for years. And if you really want to freak out your teenage daughter, you can blow one of these things up like a balloon animal. I'm not going to do that.
No,
I don't want to.
Not today.
Don't want any of my viewers like fainting or anything. But what we are going to do is we're going to rinse a few of these off, get that residual storage salt off, and put them in a bowl so they're ready once we've ground our meat. So I make sure to get the outsides. Then I find the end and run some water through it. You want to make sure that you do have your drain plug in, because these casings just love to find a way down the drain. And then I just kind of squeegee them out. I find that 2 or 3 casings is going to be plenty to get 5 pounds of sausage done. I always wind up having extra, but that's okay. So what do you say? Should we make some brats?
Let's make some brats.
We're making some brats. For our spice blend, we'll start with 1 3/4 ounces or 50 grams of kosher salt. Then we have 1/4 ounce or 7 grams of white pepper. Also 1/4 ounce or 7 grams of ground ginger. And finally 1/4 ounce or again 7 grams of ground nutmeg. We'll mix our spices together, and then we'll add it to 5 pounds or 2.27 kilograms of pork butt that I've cut into roughly 1 to 1.5 inch cubes. Then we'll mix it together with our pork until it's all coated. Now I think we're ready to grind it up. Helpful tip: you're going to want to freeze the auger and blades. If the meat gets too warm from friction, you wind up getting sort of a paste rather than a nice grind. Speaking of grind, we're using the medium-sized die on this. And this job works way better as a 2-person job, which is why I've enlisted Connor's help here. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Let's do this thing. Now another little trick that you can do to punch out the last bit of grind is to feed a paper towel through the grinder. It won't wind up grinding up in the blade. It just pushes everything through. All right, you want to scrape that off for me? Now we're going to put this grind into the freezer for the next 20 minutes to a half an hour. We want this to firm up so that it doesn't get all gummy when it goes through the second time. We'll load up our grinder with the auger and blades. Again, they were in the freezer for about a half an hour. We're using the medium die again. And we have our chilled first grind. And I'm going to have Connor show you his method for feeding this into the tube that seems to work pretty well for us.
We're just going to take a nice glob, and we're going to roll it into like a sausage looking thing, a big tube, and then we just stick it into the grinder. And it goes right in.
Works a lot better than just trying to mash meat down in there. Next, we're going to take 1 cup or 236 milliliters of heavy whipping cream, 2 large eggs, then I'll beat this with my trusty plunger whisk, which I'll link to down in the description. We'll add that to our ground pork. And then we'll mix this by hand until it becomes emulsified and very sticky. I'd say that's pretty emulsified and sticky. Then we will load this into our sausage stuffer. Do your best to pack it down so we don't get any air pockets in our sausage. We don't want that. We'll load our canister into the stuffer and start cranking down just a little bit. Want to be paying attention to that sausage down there. Perfect. Then we'll use our medium stuffing tube. Like to keep a wet paper towel handy. Keeping the surface that you're working on moist, as well as the stuffing tube, is kind of key to keeping the casing from sticking. We'll thread a couple of casings onto our stuffing tube. Then I crank the sausage maker until I'm just about to see sausage come out the end, like this. And then I tie off the end of the casing. Thread it back so it's tight. And this is another time where it's really great to have an assistant because it keeps that sausage process kind of rolling. You got one person sort of in charge of sliding the sausage, while the other one, me, will be doing the cranking. You kind of start to get a feel for the pace that gives you a fairly uniform sausage. Oh, this one's going really well. Mm-hmm. We're turning into sausage masters. Got to the end of the first casing. Pinch this up and tie that off. I find that spinning the casing a little bit before trying to tie it helps quite a bit. They are awfully, awfully slippery.
That's all of it already?
Yeah. Now, one of the downsides to using a dedicated sausage stuffer is you do wind up losing a little bit here in the tube. Well, you don't lose it, it just doesn't go into a casing. We're going to take it and make a bratwurst with it. Now for sausages, we're going to go probably about 6 inches. The way I do it is I pinch, slide, pinch again at 6 inches, then twist away from me. Slide, pinch at 6 inches, slide, pinch at 6 inches, spin towards me. We'll transfer these to a tray. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we got 14 sausages out of this. Usually we get right around 15. We did have some excess because the gasket didn't quite seal on the stuffer, so we're probably going to have 2 bratwursts out of this. Next, we're going to take our sausage poker and give each one of these a few stabs, especially if you see any air pockets. We'll flip them all over and poke the other sides. Then we're going to put these in the fridge overnight, uncovered. We want these casings to dry out and tighten up a little bit. That's what gives you that sausage pop in your mouth.
Just like the shirt.
Yeah. I start by boiling in beer, or Miller Lite, which is awfully close to beer. Now as you cook, it may be necessary to give them a little jab from time to time with your sausage poker. Especially like right here, you see where there's a little air pocket forming? Want to make sure we get rid of those. And onto the grill. All right, brats are looking good. Bacon wrapped jalapenos looking good. Got my keto bun over here. Got some asparagus going over here. I think we're ready to eat. All right, the first taste test. Colton loves meat. He's born for keto. His very first bratwurst.
What do you think, Colton?
Oh, he's reaching for it again. He must like it. Yay? Yay! Bratwurst! Good stuff? Mm-hmm. So much better than store-bought. So we come back to the question at the beginning of this video. Should you make sausage? Well, if you've got the equipment, you can definitely get a cost savings out of this. But that's really not the reason you should do this. You don't buy a grill or a smoker because you're looking for cost savings. You're doing it because you want that taste, you want that flavor, you want that method of cooking. Making your own sausage gives you such an amazing variety of options, all of which are going to taste way better than anything you can get at the store. Is it a little bit of work? Sure, but so is growing a garden. But once you have vegetables straight off your garden, the produce section at the store pales in comparison. And I think if I were doing the carnivore diet, I would absolutely want to be getting into sausage making. I just think that adds so much variety to your meat eating options. If you're interested in learning more about sausage making and some of the recipes, this is the book I highly recommend. Homemade Sausage. Every recipe that we've done comes from this book. They've all been amazing. And I will link to this book down in the description below, along with all of the equipment I used or mentioned in this video. So if you enjoyed this video, click that like button. If you'd like to see more, hit that subscribe button. If you want to be notified whenever I release a new video, tap that bell. And if you're interested in supporting the Serious Keto Test Kitchen, click that join button to see what some of the options are. No obligation. Thanks for watching.